Shoulders down, chin slightly tucked in. And start to control your breathing. And then when you get to the left, just hold your legs that side. And if you are struggling to keep the shoulder down for whatever reason, don't do the rest. Just stay there. Otherwise, you can put the bottom leg on top of the top leg and just pull it down. But if it's too much, then just stay with the legs to one side, both legs to one side. Opposite shoulder down. You can even look into the opposite direction to get a whole twist into your spine. I think I've got hay fever, which is really strange. This is not my hay fever time of the year. And unhook the legs, take it all the way over to the other side. Make sure you're comfortable first. Make sure it doesn't pull too much. And if it's okay, cross one leg over the other one and pull it down, keeping the opposite shoulder down and looking into that direction as well to get a whole twist in the spine. If you're feeling like you're tensing up to hold that stretch, just take your leg down and keep it to one side. And unhook the legs, bring it back to the middle. Spinal curls, bring your feet nice and close to your bum and just squeeze your lower back into the floor. Hello. And reverse it all the way down. He's showing off his garden to people. He's having private garden parties. I don't think he's going to join us today. And all the way up and all the way down. And just wait and just do that until your back starts to ease off. If you have a little bit of a sore lower back. We are going to end in a frog again. I know, lots of frogs. And bring it back down. Cross your one leg over your other one. Push that knee back as far as you can. That in itself is a nice little stretch. So if this is enough for you, you can just stay there, pushing that leg back 90 degrees and just holding it there. Otherwise, bring the opposite leg in and hug it in. Just try not to lift up your lower back and roll. So it's easier to grab underneath the hamstring without straining your back. Please do that. You don't have to grab over your shin. That all depends on the flexibility of this leg and whether your knee can flex or not. So your knee flexion and hip rotation is a big source for that stretch to be correct. So just make sure the back is down and adjust it so that you can handle that if you don't have either of those. I'm struggling again over my words. I just think there's a lot of things I can tell you, but I can't actually say it because I mumble. So I just keep it to myself. A lot of anatomy things, but I'll just keep it to myself because I mumble. And take it down, switch sides. So press, put the knee over the leg, not the knee, the ankle. Push that knee back. See what I mean? I don't know if it's Sunday or just because I mumble that this happens. And then bring the opposite leg in again, either under the hamstring or over the shin, depending on your flexibility. Hold that in. Oh, I really feel that. You can roll from side to side if you want. And just stretch. That's getting quite tight. I used to have quite flexible hip rotators, but that feels very tight. It's probably because I'm waddling like a dog and my ankles are sore. And hug it back in, all the way back in, and rotate the legs in your hands. And the other way. And then bring it back to the middle. See how close you can get your knees to come to your chest without lifting up your back. And then straighten your legs out to the ceiling. 90 degrees above your hips so that you can get them quite straight. If you struggle with that, just bend them in a little bit. So big 90-degree stretch above your hips. And then just flex both feet and point your toes. And flex your feet. Hello, Minion.
Hello.
Minion had a friend. And
With the legs.
Oops. Flex the feet. And
You're giving gardening advice.
Gardening advice?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Relax your feet. And we're just going to rock up to the leg. Grab it wherever you can reach it and hug it in nice and tight.
So where did we join? We'll just leave it.
No, boy, we just started. Look at him trying to weasel out of that. So just hug it in. See how it goes. You can get that. What did he say?
You should see his garden. He's doing a nice patio himself, but he said he knows people at work who might do Saturdays.
Yay, we're going to get a patio!
So
Very excited.
So just show you what we want to do.
We can't do it ourselves because we're useless, so we need someone to do it for us.
Well, I said the digging is the most expensive part. I think we can dig.
I think that's an evil laugh. Up in your legs and roll up to a seated. Take your legs forward and put it in a nice little V shape. Your legs, and we're just going to roll forward, stretching out the back, the lower back a little bit. Flex your feet if you can. Let me just move back a little bit because I'm back to the screen. Flex your feet if you can. And walk your hands all the way back to the top. Sit nice and high on your seat bone. We're just going to slide to one side and take our arm over for that stretch. Keep it nice and straight. We're trying to loosen up that lower body because I've got a nice little, quite difficult thing that we're going to do.
Right now.
Exciting, exciting.
This is supposed to be stretchy Sunday.
It is, it's going to be stretchy.
Is it really?
Lift it back up and take it over to the other side. Just cross it over, stretch it out, stretch up your lower back, your waist, and back to the middle. Again, just walk down. Keep your back straightish so that you can get that stretch into your lower back. Hold back, keep your tummy in. You're not really committed, are you?
No, I am.
He's really not committed today.
I was just looking at what you were doing. It's better than I'm doing it today.
Sadly, are you doing it today? I would like a yes or a no. And walk it in to the top. Straighten out. I see Tabby's name, but I can't see what she said. Take your legs forward. And again, we're just walking down. So we're walking down that leg, keeping the back straight. Don't go far, only go to where it stops. Hold it there and flex your feet. If you can't reach your feet, it's fine. Just flex it, keep your back straight and hold that stretch. And we're going to tabletop ourselves. So you're going to straighten out the back on the inhale. And then on the exhale, we're going to forward bend. And we're going to tabletop again. Inhale up. And forward bend, exhale, don't go too far. And inhale up, straighten out, exhale, all the way down. The gatekeeper is in. Last one, inhale up, and exhale, all the way down. And then roll it up to a seated. Are you ready for our little pose? Make sure that you can roll down. You're not going to bump anything in case you roll down. Are you ready? Okay, so just lift up your legs, grab behind your legs and squeeze your legs towards your chest and stay upright as much as you can. So you're balancing basically on your tailbone and you're holding it in like that. So this is the position you're going to stay in if you struggle with the rest. So you're pushing your chest towards your knees as much as you can. So you're literally, your chest is on your knees, so try and do that. Like underneath your hamstrings, really.
Yeah.
So grab your legs underneath your hamstrings and not over your shins, because you'll have to straighten out the legs later. And just hold that. That's quite hard to hold. You have to have ab power to hold everything together. And it gets quite difficult as the time moves on. So back straight, chin tucked in, abs contracting to hold your legs into your chest as much as you can. And just hold that. Try not to roll down. I almost just did. And just relax. Go down to the floor. And we're going to do that again with straight legs, which is a lot more difficult. So you can go back to that option if you struggle. Did you feel your tummies? If you didn't feel your tummies, you have to work harder. Okay, hold it in, straighten out the legs. And then try and get yourself as close to your legs as possible without rolling down. My legs can't go completely straight, but it's almost there. Get yourself nice and close, keep your tummy in, and you're kind of just hugging your legs. I'm gonna roll back.
Your legs are so high.
So straighten out, hug it
It'd
in.
be a nice little statue to make, wouldn't it?
It would. Look at him losing his. Just hold that as long as you can.
I guess. Be nice, wouldn't it?
If you struggle with the straight legs, just bend it in and hug it in like that. So don't straighten it out if you struggle. Nice and close, tummy in. Then bend it in. Take your feet to the floor. How did you find that? Switch around. We'll finish with that again. Switch around and push back to child's pose. So that was our little challenge, stretchy, abby thing for today. And I really like that. I've never actually done that in a class. I've done it at home, and you can do it against the wall to keep the legs straight, which is a lot easier actually. So you can always try that. But anyway, I thought we'll do that for fun. Onto your hands and knees. We're going to do an easy flow through. A sun salutation, very simple, very slow. We have done it before. It's very relaxing, and that's the point of the day today. So push into a cat stretch, exhale up, and inhale into a cow. Push away from your shoulders, and then push into a cat stretch again, and exhale into a cow. Neutral spine, tuck your toes under, downward facing dog, and stretch it out. Walk it out, get those calves stretched out. I've massaged my sore ankles calves today. They definitely could go down a little bit further now that they're a little bit less tense. So take your time with that stretch. Lock your shoulders out so that you don't pinch them. Keep the tummy in. And just walk it out. And then just make sure that you can bring your feet in like a toes distance closer to make sure that your heels goes down a little bit further. Go onto your toes, push your bum back to the back of the room, keep your tummy in, and then just drop your heels behind your toes and hold that for 3 breaths. Heels behind toes, tummy in, and hold. Take your legs to the side of the mat, nice and wide, drop the heels down, left arm over right calf, go into that twist, look underneath your arm, keep the tummy in. You can take calf, you can take ankle, it's completely up to you. And back to wide-legged down dog. Push down, heels down, go to the other side, go into that twist. Hello. Did you have fun outside with your trees?
I did.
I told them what you did.
I'm just worried.
And back.
They're all going to die.
To the middle. You can keep your legs wide and go into a plank. Shoulders above your hands. We're just going to hold that plank for 1, 2, 3. Knees down. Keep them wide. Push back to a wide-legged child's pose, which is quite nice because you dip between your legs and you can push away a little bit further if you have that flexibility in your back. And back onto your knees. Tuck your toes under, downward dog. Lift up your right leg, tuck it into your chest, bring that foot to the front of the mat. Keep that back leg long, just stretch it a little bit, bend that front knee in. Hold that stretch for 1, 2 breaths, 3 breaths, and step it into the front of the mat, legs bent, fold a raggedy doll, so you've got nice bent legs, your shoulders is hanging over your knees, and you can sway from side to stretch it out. Drop your arms down, drop your head. You can straighten out your legs a little bit, but keep your chest where it is. Keep your tummy in. Roll it up all the way to the top. Stack your spine until you get to the top. Take a nice deep breath in. Shrug your shoulders down. Chair pose. Push your bum back. Hold your chair. For those of you who struggle going down because you don't have the dorsiflexion like I have, if you put something underneath your feet, you can stay in chair pose while I show you. It's good chair pose. If you put something underneath your heels, like so, your heels are slightly lifted, you usually are able to go down a little bit further. So you can do that if you struggle with that squat going down because your dorsiflexion is holding you back. You can put something underneath your ankles, that helps a lot. Okay, sweep the floor. Once you're down, straighten out your legs into that forward bend. Hands to the mat, step back on your left leg. Lift up into a high lunge. Shoulders down, front leg bend, back leg strong. Hands together, left elbow over right knee, and a twist. Hold that twist, back leg strong, push back on that heel. Lift it up, woo, all the way to the top. Tummy in. All the way down to the floor. Step back to downward dog. Stretch it out. Heels down. Shoulders strong, tummy in. Bum to the back of the room. Hold that stretch. Now, if your heels struggle to go down there, then putting something underneath your heel in a squat would definitely help. Forwards to plank. Hold your plank. Louis is going to skip this. This is just going to go back to child's pose. So if you have a back issue and back extension is painful for you, then you go back to child's pose now. You can put your knees down and shove back. Otherwise, knees down, flow into a cobra.
I'm just going to try because my back splits out anyway. Maybe.
Open up your chest. Tuck in your bum. Push back to child's pose. Wiggle yourself down so that your bum goes down. Push yourself down, wiggle a little bit if you have to. Breathe and relax. We're going to do one more flow into a cobra. Keep it low. Flow into your cobra. Keep your arms bent slightly. Open up your chest. Back to child's pose. Wiggle yourself down so that your bum goes to your heels. Stretch it out. Onto your hands and knees. Tuck your toes under. Downward facing dog. Walk your feet in close enough so that you can drop your heels. Stretch it out. Tummy in. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Take your legs wide again. Drop your heels. It's easier to drop the heels if the legs are wide. And left arm over right. Calf, heel, anywhere on the left, right, sorry. Told you, shouldn't speak. There should be silence. Back to wide-legged downward dog. Other side, hold. If you struggle to hold this, go back to the wide-legged downward dog. It shouldn't be difficult to hold this. So if you do struggle, just go back. Back to downward dog. Keep your legs wide, push into that wide-legged plank. Shoulders over your hands. Hold. Knees down, wide-legged to child's pose, which is nice. Onto your hands and knees, tuck your toes under, downward dog. And that should start to feel a little bit better. But do play around. If it's not, lift up the left leg, tuck it into your chest, bring it to the front of the mat. Just hover there, keep your back straight, hands on the floor. Stretch that back heel back. Step it into the front of the mat, bend legs, raggedy dog. Grab your elbows and roll from side to side. Fabulous there, Louis.
Is it? Good motto.
Louis feels a lot better now, Fabi. And then just drop your hands. Now you can straighten out your legs there a little bit. Don't force it. Don't go for straight, and then kind of just roll your back like so. Keep it as bent, keep your chest down, keep your back straight. Don't force it. Bend your knees, roll it up, all the way to the top. Shrug your shoulders back. Take a nice deep breath in. And chair pose. Hold that chair pose. I can't push back further because I have lack of dorsiflexion, hence my ankle issues. Arms next to your ears. So think arms, as soon as you drop it like that, that's not arms next to your ears. So they have to stay next to your ears. They don't have to, but that makes it your shoulder strength a little bit better. Push your bum back, hold that chair pose. Keep the tummy in. Try not to collapse chest down. Navel to spine, that transverse abdominis hold is what you're looking for. Then you're going to sweep the floor down, straighten out your legs into a forward bend. Hands to the mat, step back on your right leg and lift up into a high lunge. Hold that high lunge. Back leg strong, tummy in, front leg bend. Hands together, right elbow over left knee and twist. Lift it back up into a high lunge. All the way down to the floor, step it back to downward dog. Forwards to plank. Hold plank for 3 breaths. Knees down. Slide into your cobra. Back to child's pose. Slide into cobra again. Louis, you can skip this.
I'm just going to try and then I'll see.
Open up your chest. Let your abs stretch. Don't let all the pressure go to your lumbar spine. Let your abs stretch. Back to child's pose. Wiggle your bum down. And relax. You can sit on your bottoms again. So we're going to do that funny stretch again. We're all stretched out now. Okay, so again, you can keep your legs bent. I would love to show you against the wall, but I'm going to roll over and it's going to look ridiculous. But you can always try it against the wall. I always do wall splits. That looks amazing. Makes a split very easy if you've got the wall. Okay. Sit up nice and high. On your seat bones, keep your back straight. Hug in your knees, keep them bent. Then grab them underneath your hamstrings and pull yourself in. Try and hold your balance. And just try and hold it there. Tummy in. So your abs is actually working quite hard to keep everything together and not fall down. And just hold it there. It's supposed to be a relaxing class, so relax and breathe into that.
It is relaxing.
Navel to spine. And take your feet down. Stretch out your back, roll out your back. And just stretch and roll once or twice. And we're going to do it straight legs now. So bring in your knees, nice and close, straighten out your legs. Squeeze your chest towards your legs. Some people rest their heads on their legs like so, but I'm not there yet. I don't have that severe flexion in my hips. Hold it there. Tummy in. No, you should relax.
I can't relax.
Tummy in. Head on your legs.
Oh, show off.
Bend it in. Take it down. We're going to do our 3 roll down to lay our back massage. So roll it down and roll it up again. Roll it down, roll it up. That feels nice, doesn't it? One more time. Roll it up. And we'll do the funky one as well. So if you don't like the funky one, just do that one again for 3 rolls. Otherwise, grab your legs, straighten them out. And roll it down. Roll it up. Find your balance. Roll it down. Roll it up. Find your balance. And one more time. Find your balance. Hold your balance. So this is almost the same, can you tell? See if you can bring your legs a little bit closer. And bend it in. And we're going to go for our frog again. I know. Froggy frog. So bring your mat in again so that your knees doesn't feel this. And you know frog, we're going to stay in it. Try and come out of it without crying. So take your legs nice and wide. Your knees as wide as you can. Then turn the feet out. Do you see my feet there? It's past my knees or my ankle, and knees is aligned and my toes are looking past. And I think today, before we go down, stay up and push back. And you should feel that already. See if you can take your knees wider until while you're still up. So push forward, push back, push forward, push back, keep the tummy in, push forward, push back. And then put your elbows down, comfortable, back straight, push back, hold it back. Oh, it's singing today. I think it's after yesterday's one. Just hold it back. You can relieve a little bit coming forward and then pushing back again at your own pace. Don't just lean forward the whole time. But if it gets, mine is really painful today after yesterday, I have to say. I can feel they did have had a stretch. Just hold that. Nice, make sure your shoulders is locked out and okay. Tummy in, try not to dip your lower back down, so keep everything nice and straightish. And just forwards and back. See if your knees slides out a little bit. Feet out. How are you doing there?
I hate this pose so much. I don't even want to talk.
Minion's been really in the back mood since we've ruined his
How
coffee.
flat are you though?
How what? How fat am I?
So flat.
Fat. It's like, okay, we all know you've got a view of my bum, Louis.
You're always on the ground.
I know. I'm always on the ground. I'm not really. Remember to push back. This is like pigeon. You don't want to do it. How fat am I? I know. From Monday, I'm starting a liquid diet. Today's my last day of freedom. Okay, my legs are sliding down. I can feel them sliding down. I can feel them going. Just remember, all these muscles are attached to your pubis bone, so your special place.
Oh, Robert, no one's going to be able to help you now.
So don't overdo it. Okay. Now to get out of this, Use your strength, bring in the leg, and then the other one, and sit back on your
Very
knees.
unnatural about that.
So all the adductor muscles attaches in various part of your pubis area. And there are 5 of them, 5 or 6, I always forget, I think 5 adductors running down the leg, attaching to the lower bit of that pubic thing that has holes, and it runs down and attaches there in the femur. So they tend to be quite overactive, especially if your knees goes in. But yes, that's why it's so painful, because they're all attaching there. And you need to stretch there, which is quite a difficult stretch. That's why that is such a good stretch. And I know all the names of the areas they attach on, but for some reason, as soon as I'm on YouTube, I forget everything. It's like a mental block for me. Roll down onto your back, hug in your knees. I know the big 10 years is the small one, closest one to your pubic area, your groin area. And take the feet to the floor. Okay, just a few bridges. Shrug your shoulders down, feet close to your bum, lift up into your bridge, squeeze up, and this time you can really go for it. So you can shrug your shoulders under and really see if you can push it up. You can even walk your feet to the side of the mat, see if you can get a bigger push up. Keep your tummy tucked in so that you have that stretch in your abdominals, and you can even put your fists underneath your hips to guide you more or less where to go. If you don't have the feet wide, it's hip distance apart, feet forward, and just hold that. Keep the tummy in, squeeze up your bum, so really contract your bum. You can let your knees fall out a little bit, that's going to help with that contraction. And slowly go down until your tailbone touches the floor. Let your shoulders run out again and just hug in your knees nice and tight for an opposite stretch. And then for those of you who want to, you can go into a wheel now. Let me just tuck in everything. You can go into a wheel. So a wheel, you just put your arms, please don't do this if you are putting a lot of pressure on your neck, because you might break it. And I don't want to be responsible for that. So hands next to your ears, and you can, I unfortunately have to take my legs wide when I squeeze up. I don't have all the power yet to just lift up gracefully, but arms next to your ears and squeeze up. Most of the power comes from your bottom. So the harder you squeeze up with your bottom, the easier it is to go up. If you do have weight on your neck, please keep that to a minimal and don't go up if you can't manage it, please. So arms next to your ears, squeeze it up. Once you're up, you can walk your feet in. You can play around. You can really enjoy that. You can lift up one leg if you want. Enjoy, stay up. You can do normal bridge if you're not going to do a wheel. And then once you've played around, you can come down to the bottom again. For those minions who didn't do the wheel, we'll just do a normal bridge again, just hugging your knees. If you're still in wheel, I'll give you some time to come down. It's fun, isn't it?
I can't do it.
It's fun. It's fun when you can lift up the leg. It took me ages to lift up my stumps. Now, if I start my liquid diet on Monday, it's going to be so easy. Okay, take your feet down. Normal bridge, lift it up again. Keep the tummy in. Shrug the shoulders under. Squeeze up as high as you can. You can walk your feet a little bit closer to your bum. Use your hands as a guide. Just hold that, squeeze up. And this is a nice little hip flexor stretch as well, if you can really extend up quite a lot. And roll it back down to the floor. Shrug your shoulders under, out. Hug in your knees. Straighten out your legs to the ceiling. Grab wherever it's comfortable. And flex your feet and point your toes. 90 degrees is a nice and easy one. Can you take it 90 degrees, Louis? Oh, good. If you can have your legs 90 degrees, it's more or less there above your hips in a straight line, your hamstrings is quite flexible. So if you can manage that, your hamstrings. If you struggle and you still have slightly bent knees, you know that you can work a little bit into the length of your hamstrings. Grab behind your legs, and we're going to roll up again, hugging in the knees as much as we can without overdoing it. If your back is sore from that rounding out of the back, then don't roll up, just keep your back flat on the floor and bring your legs in. And take it down to the floor. Drop your legs to the left, take your arms out. Put the bottom leg on top of the top leg, squeeze it down. You okay?
Yeah.
He looks dead. Are you okay, Mignon?
I'm dead.
Take it over to I think this was quite tough on his back today.
No, it was okay.
Take the bottom leg out, put it on top of the top leg, squeeze it down. Oh. Squeeze it down, keep the shoulder down. Did you hear that?
Where?
I'm chiropractic. My back just went below. And back to the middle. Hug in your knees and roll yourself up to the top. Sit up nice and high. Cross your legs over. Take your opposite hand over your opposite knee and stretch. And then I want you to let go and hold that position. So if you let go and you're doing this, then you've gone too far. You've pulled yourself in and you can't maintain that. So once you turn over and hold, you keep straight. If you let go, you have to stay more or less where you turn to. If you're bobbing back, then you know you've gone too far. Grab that again. You can hold on. Stretch a little bit, sit nice and high. And switch to the other side. And again, once you're in, let go. See if you can maintain that twist without holding back. This is a little bit of oblique work, transverse work. So you're working quite hard holding that position. And then grab again, stay in the twist. And back to the middle, tucking your chin, shrug back your shoulders. Take a nice deep breath in. You are done for today. That was fun. I enjoyed that. Have a lovely Sunday. We're going to the beach now. We're going to Felixstowe in front of Fludgers if anyone wants to join us. I've got another glass first.